What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce, and in today's video, we are going over the solicitations for DC Comics for the month of July. These books will be coming out in just over 2 months' time, and you can start pre-ordering them right now on websites like mycomicshop.com, which I already started to do. I started to put my list together because this solicitations list was put out 11 days ago. I know I'm late with this video, but guys, we're going to do this video a little different than normally. Normally, I would do the kind of like a live webcam recording of myself going through the list and kind of give you guys my live reaction. But after watching those videos, I really don't like it. So this is going to be more of my standard format video, but with some twists. So I've gone through this list and separated the list into different buckets. These buckets are things like the best, the good, who's reading this, and WTF. You know what that means, right guys? Now, one of the main reasons why I want to change up the format for these videos is because I want to make this video much shorter. My old videos were 30+ minutes long, and who's going to sit around for 30 minutes hearing me rant about comic books? Not many people. So I'm going to try to get this video down to closer to 15 minutes. And a quick reminder, guys, these are my own thoughts about these books. If you guys think completely differently than me, guys, leave a comment down below, and maybe that comment will get me to reconsider my thoughts on this book. But guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and dive into my first category, which is going to be what the fuck were you thinking, DC Comics? Alright guys, one more quick reminder before we dive into this list. This list is not definitive. There might be delays to some of these books, so some of the books that I'm going to talk about in today's video might not come out in the month of July. They might be delayed to a future month, so that is my last and final reminder. Let's go ahead and dive into that first category. So there's only one book that falls under the category of what the fuck were you thinking, DC Comics, and that is DC Mech #1. Now, you would think in general that I would like this book because this is an Elseworlds Tales. Instead of superheroes, we get giant-sized mechs. But really, who cares about mechs? I want superheroes, not mechs. But the fact that they're trying to push this book is just crazy to me. We don't need another Elseworlds Tales. We have enough of those already. Guys, focus on your core books, not mechs. Guys, let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for DC Mechs #1, where we get our normal cast of heroes but in mech suits? I really do not care about this book. And guys, the creative team behind this, I have no idea who you are. So why is DC Comics putting a new creative team that no one really knows behind a book that no one really wanted? Did you guys want DC Heroes and Mechs? I don't think so. So my next category is who is reading this. These are books that I just don't know who is reading these books or who are these books for. So let's not waste any time and dive into this list. And the first book up is Action Comics number 1045. Now, it is known that I am not a huge Superman fan, but the fact that they have the writer Philip Kennedy Johnson on this book and there's zero buzz around this book. I've not heard a single comic book YouTuber talk positively about this book. And I have a large circle of comic book YouTuber friends and I've not heard a single one talk positively about this book. So why is DC continue to force out Action Comics? Why don't they pause on this book and come up with a good story and then relaunch the series? Probably because it's Action Comics and they want to keep pushing this number along. But come on, who is reading Action Comics? Who is this book for? And the next book up is Aquaman #6. And this is another great example of who is this book for? Why are they pushing Aquaman? Does anyone really care about Arthur Curry or Jackson Hyde? I don't think so. I think the main reason why they're pushing this out is because they want a book for Jackson Hyde, but why don't they just make an Aqualad book or a Jackson Hyde book? I just don't think anyone is really reading this, and who is excited for this? And also, they're killing off Arthur Curry, so who is going to be in this book? Who is the Aquaman? I have no idea. Is it going to be Jackson Hyde and Black Manta? But Black Manta is not an Aquaman. Let's go on to the next book. Next up is another book is who is this for? Who is this for? Artemis Wanted #1. Now this is spitting out of the Trials of Amazon series, but again, who cares about Artemis? Who is asking for an Artemis book? I sure the hell am not, but there must be someone out there that they think they're going to write this for. And again, this is written by Vita Ayala. Who wants a book by Vita Ayala? Now the artist on this book is Skylar Patrick. She's great. She's a really great artist, but again, who wants this book, guys? Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for an Artemis book? What they should have done is made a Wonder Girl book. That would have been a great idea, not an Artemis book. And the next book on the who is this for is Batman Fortress #3. We have so many Batman books. Do we really need another Batman book? Especially one written by Gary Whitta? I really don't think so. Now this is one of the few Batman books I really am just not into. A lot of the other Batman titles you will hear me talk really positively about. But Batman Fortress seemed like DC Comics is trying to push out more books for us Batman fans to buy, and this one is just not one I'm going to pick up. Next up, Batman Batman Urban Legends number 17. Who wants anthology series? No one, no one. And the fact that this is on issue number 17, is the sales for this book really that good? Is this book really selling that well? This is an $8 monthly book. This is just a silly idea to me. And again, this is another book that I haven't heard anyone talk positively about. I never heard anyone bring this up in a top 5 list that they're most excited about it, or a must-read list, or anything like that. DC Comics, get rid of this book and put your energy into other books that need it. The next book is Black Adam, The Justice Society Files, Hawkman number 1. Now this seems like a book that they're putting out only because the Black Adam movie is coming out, which is going to feature Hawkman, which is really cool. But again, why do we need this book? I really don't see it. And they don't even have any covers out for me to look at the covers and get excited for the covers. So will I be picking this up? Hell no, I will not be picking this up. Next up is Blood Syndicate Season 1, Number 3. This is a book that I know nothing about any of the characters, and I read so many books, I'm just going to skip over this book. If you guys like this book, guys, let me know down in the comments below, and maybe I'll give this book a shot. But again, who is this for? I don't know. Next up is a book that I really wish I liked because I loved when Ram V was writing it, but this is Catwoman number 45. Once T.D. Howard picked this book up, it fell into dog doo-doo. It just really isn't that good of a story. She's a terrible writer, in my opinion. Maybe she has some fans out there. I don't like her as a writer, and she's really made this series drop for me. I'm only picking this series up because of the covers by Jenny Frison and Sozumaka, and that is it. Next up is Dark Crisis, Worlds Without a Justice League, Superman number 1. Why do we need this book? No one asked for this book. We don't need this book. No one cares for this book. DC Comics, how about you write some stories that people actually want to see? But this is written by Tom King, which he has had some hits in the past, but he's had some colossal flops as well. But again, Chris Burnham. Who is Chris Burnham? Should I be excited for his artwork? I don't know. And also, there's a backup story. So you know what? Everyone loves backup stories. They love getting a story that you didn't pay the money for, but it's in that book anyways. Everyone loves them, guys. Everyone. Next up is Dark Crisis, Young Justice number 2. This book has some cool characters, but with the writing talents of Megan Fitzmartin, which I've never heard of before, and the overall idea that this is just a tie-in to Dark Crisis, the big event that's coming out this summer, I really just don't care for this book, but I do like that second cover. Stay tuned to the end of the video for my cover lover section. But guys, Dark Crisis, Young Justice number 2, who cares? Next up is Duo number 3. This is another book that I just know nothing about the characters, and I'm not going to pick up another book, but if you guys are into this book and you guys want to see more of Duo, guys, let me know down in the comments below. But again, who is this for? Who is asking for this series? Next up is Fables number 153. I put this in the who is asking for it because who is asking for a continuation to the Fables series? I don't know. Next up is Justice League vs. the Legion of Superheroes number 5. Brian Michael Bendis, you are a terrible writer. You used to do great things at Marvel Comics, but ever since you came over to DC Comics, you cannot write a good story. I have not read any of this. I just don't trust your writing after everything I read from you from DC Comics. I think the only 2 books that you wrote was that Batman Walmart special and also the Naomi series. Other than that, I can't read anything you put out. Next up is Looney Tunes number 267. This is almost at issue 300. That's really cool. But other than that, who is Looney Tunes for? I guess kids? Next up is Monkey Prince number 6. This is another book I didn't pick up because I'm already reading too much and I'm way behind on all those books. But guys, let me know down in the comments below if this is actually a good book and needs to be moved into a different category. Next up, Multiversity Teen Justice number 2. Who is this book for, DC Comics? Who? I would love to know. And who asked for this book? Next up, Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, number 2. Now again, I am just not a big Amazon fan. I don't like Wonder Woman. I think the only Amazon or Wonder Woman type character that I do enjoy is Wonder Girl, Yara Flor, or Cassie Sandsmark when she's in the Young Justice team or Teen Titans. But guys, I'm not interested in another Amazon character that I really don't care about. I know some of you guys have left comments down in my videos that you are enjoying this series, but for me personally, who is this for? Not me. This next book might surprise some of you, but this is Superman Son of Kal-El number 13. I don't know. Who is this Superman for? It's not for me. It's not for a lot of people. I know a lot of people are not enjoying this series, but guys, if you guys are, let me know down in the comments below. But this book is just not for me anymore. Next up, this is a great example of who was asking for this book, and that is Superman Space Age number 1. I'm not going to read this. This is just who is asking for another Superman book when you cannot get anyone to pick up Action Comics or Superman Son of Kal-El or any other of the Superman titles that you guys have coming out of DC Comics. We do not need a Mark Russell and Mike Allred Superman book. We just don't. This next book might not deserve to be down in this section, but I'm just not reading The Flash number 784, so I don't know who this book is for, because the last time I picked up The Flash was like 3 years ago, and I haven't heard any good things about The Flash from anyone. But guys, let me know down in the comments below. Are you guys enjoying The Flash right now? Should I consider picking up? And guys, if I should, guys, let me know what issue is a good jumping in point for this Flash series. And I believe the last book that's going to be in our Who Is This For is Wonder Woman number 789. This is written by Becky Calhoun, Michael Conrad, and Jordie Bellaire. Again, why do you need 3 writers on a book to make it good? I don't think you do, and I don't think anyone is asking for a Wonder Woman book, but I know everyone is asking for a Wonder Girl Yara Flor book. DC Comics, make it happen. Nope, we have one more book, and that is Young Justice Targets number 1. Again, who is this book for? Who wants a Young Justice Targets number 1, where Black Canary and Green Arrow are in a coma, and these guys need to go save them? I don't know. I'm speechless for some of these books. I really don't know who these books are for. Alright guys, it is time to dive into the books that I think are good. This is the good category. I'm no longer going to be ragging on any of the books, so let's go ahead and start off this list with a good one. Aquaman, Andrew Media, number 2. And the main reason why I'm excited for this book, because I haven't read issue number 1, is that it is written by Ram V, and it is a prestige black label book, so it's going to be a little darker than normal, and Ram V is just one of my favorite writers, so I am super excited for this book. And the next book up is Aquaman in the Flash Void Song number 2. And the main reason I'm excited for this book is that it is a DC Black Label prestige format book. And I'm hoping that this is going to be a little bit more of a mature story, but I really don't know the creative team on this book. This is more of like, I'm hoping it's good, but I'm not really sure. I'm just banking on the fact that it's a DC Black Label that it's going to be good. Next up, Batgirls number 8. If you guys watch my channel, you guys know I'm enjoying this current run of Batgirls, or the only run on Batgirls. But this is written by Becky Calhoun and Michael Conrad, and art by Robbie Rodriguez, and covers by Jorge Corona. This is just a fun book in my opinion. It's more of like a popcorn book than anything else, but I'm really enjoying the story so far. Next up is Black Adam number 2, written by Christopher Priest, which has a pretty good track record, and art by Rafa Sandoval, who is an amazing artist. We know Black Adam is coming out this summer, so that's why there is a new Black Adam book launching at DC Comics, and Christopher Priest is a good enough a writer for me to check this book out. This is number 2 with the creative team of Christopher Priest and Rafa Sandoval. That's why I'm excited for this book. Next up, Dark Crisis number 2. This is written by Joshua Williamson and art by Daniel Sampier. That's enough for me to give this book a shot. And it's also the big summer event. I gotta check this book out, so fingers crossed it's going to be good. Next up, Deathstroke Inc. number 11. If you guys are not reading Deathstroke Inc., it's more of a popcorn book. It's pretty fun. But if you guys like Slade Wilson and his family, and there's going to be an extended family if you guys are looking at the covers on this book, and Black Canary, you guys might want to give this book a shot, because I'm actually really enjoying this title. Next up, Flashpoint Beyond number 3. The main reason why I'm excited for this book is that the creative team, Jeff Johns, Jeremy Adams, and Tim Sheeran, is just enough for me to give this book a shot. I love Jeff Johns, so that's why I'm picking this book. I have issue number 0. I just haven't read it yet. But overall, I'm excited for Thomas Wayne and Jeff Johns. Next up is Future State Gotham number 15. I believe this is more of like just like a guilty pleasure book for me. I'm enjoying it. I am a few issues behind, but overall, it's just a fun popcorn book to me. Next up, Harley Quinn number 17. Again, this is written by Stephanie Phillips and art by Riley Rusimo. Again, I love the creative team on this book. I'm really enjoying it. It's not for everyone, but it's for me. I personally love Riley Rusimo's art, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm liking this book so much, but I also just love Harley Quinn. I like what Stephanie Phillips is doing in this story with her. Next up, Naomi, Season 2, number 5. I haven't read any of the current issues of Naomi. I need to get caught up, but I really like this character, and I hope Brian Michael Bendis does not fuck this book up. Next up is Poison Ivy number 2. Guys, just look at the covers on this book. I really don't know the creative team all that well. G. Willow Wilson is the writer, and the art is by Marcio Takara. But guys, the covers have me sold. I'm gonna give this book a shot. I like the character of Poison Ivy. I hope we see some Harley Quinn in there, but overall, I'm just pumped to see a Poison Ivy book. Next up, Task Force Z number 10. I like this book. I don't know if you guys are reading this book or not, but I like the fact that Jason Todd is leading a team of villains that are zombies. I just think it's a really cool idea, and I like what they're doing it. This is written by Matthew Rosenberg and art by Eddie Barros and Eber Ferreira. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's another guilty pleasure, but I love Jason Todd, and I just love the fact that he's leading a team of zombies. Next up is Sandman Universe Nightmare Country number 4. I have issue number 1. I haven't read it, but the reason why this is in the good pile is because it's written by James Tynion IV. I like almost everything he puts out, so that's why this book is here. And the last book on our good list is The Swamp Thing, number 15, and Ram V is just one of my favorite writers. I am so far behind in this issue. I think the last issue I read was issue number 7 or 8, and this is issue number 15, so I am so far behind. I have a lot to catch up on, and the fact that this is written by Ram V and it has one of my favorite heroes in Swamp Thing, this is always going to be on the good list. Maybe the story is not amazing, but it's good enough for me to give this book a shot and get caught up on when I have the time. Alright guys, this is the final category before we get into my cover lover picks, and that is the best. These are the books that I think are going to be the best coming out in the month of July for DC Comics. These are the books that I'm most excited about, so let's go ahead and dive right in. And the first one up is Batman Beyond Neo Year number 4. Number 1 is out. I haven't read it, but come on. Are they really gonna do Terry McGinnis dirty and make a bad book? I don't think so. I'm just super excited to finally get caught up on this book and read issue number 1, and hopefully it's just gonna be a really good book. Next up, Batman Killing Time number 5. Hey, look at that Penguin cover. It's absolute fire. This is written by Tom King and art by David Marquez. They are a really good creative team. If you guys have not read the first 2 issues, you guys are missing out. This book is so good. Tom King doing a really fun, really cool story. I love this book. Next up, Batman the Night number 7. This is written by Chip Zdarsky, and this book right here has me super excited for his run on Batman, because if you guys are not reading Batman the Night, pick this book up. This book is so good. And the art by Carmen D. Gandimencio. Totally butchered that. Sorry, Carmine. But this book is so good. And I like the covers on this book. Everything about this book is so good. Be reading Batman the Night. Next up, Batman the White Knight presents Red Hood number 1. This takes place in the Batman White Knight universe, which is an amazing universe that Sean Murphy created. This is written by Sean Murphy and Clay McCormick. And I'm just super excited about this because it's going to be featuring Jason Todd, and he's going to have his own Robin. How cool is that? I cannot wait for this. If you guys are not reading any of the White Knight universe, get caught up. It's amazing. Next up is Batman number 125, and I am so excited for this new creative team on Batman. We're gonna have Chip Zdarsky, and we're gonna have my favorite artist, Jorge Jimenez, on this book. I am just over the moon excited. I'm probably gonna spec on this book a little bit, but I don't know if there's any first appearances or anything like that just yet. But the fact that there's such an amazing creative team on this book, I'm gonna get a few extra copies of this book because it is just going to be so stinking good. Next up is DC vs. Vampires number 7. If you guys are not reading this book yet and you've watched any of my videos, what are you doing? This series is so amazing. It's written by Matthew Rosenberg and James Tynion IV, Tynion, I don't know. And art by Otto Schmidt. This book is just so much fun. I'm loving this book. Next up, DC vs. Vampires All Out War number 1. This is written by Matthew Rosenberg and Alex Paknadal. And I don't know, giving more DC vs. Vampires universe? Hell yes. Next up, Detective Comics number 1062. We got another new creative team on a Batman book, and that is Ram V and Raphael Albuquerque. I'm just, again, over the moon excited for Ram V to be picking up a Batman book. Fingers crossed that it's going to be good. Next up, I Am Batman number 11. If you guys are not reading I Am Batman, you guys are missing out. This is just a really cool Batman book. I'm really enjoying it. You guys let me know down in the comments below if you guys are reading it and not enjoying it. Next up is Nightwing number 94. I am loving this Nightwing run. It's not for everyone, but I personally think Tom Taylor is knocking it out of the park on this series. And check out that B cover. That is so good. Next up, Robin number 16. If you're not reading Robin, again, what are you doing? This is such a good book. This is written by Joshua Williamson and art by Roger Cruz and Norm Rapmund. It is just a great series that you guys should be reading. It's focusing on Damian Wayne, and it's just such a fun series. I love some of the characters that they introduced in this series, and it's just so much fun. Next up, the Jurassic League number 3. I have not got my hands on issue number 1 of the Jurassic League yet, I don't believe, but come on. It's written by Darren Warren Johnson. He does such an amazing job with Elseworlds Tales, and I am super excited to see the Justice League as dinosaurs. That's all that needs to be said. And that is it for all the books coming out in the month of July and all my thoughts on them. Let's dive into my cover lover picks and then wrap this video up. Alright guys, I have 8 cover lover picks for you guys. Only 8 covers from the whole month of July, even though there are going to be some covers that are going to come out over the next few months before they are released. But guys, these 8 covers I think are the best that have been shown so far. And the first one up is Dark Crisis Young Justice number 2, the B cover. This cover featuring Superboy is just a beautiful cover in my opinion, and I love Superboy when he's wearing the leather jacket. Next up, Batman White Knight presents the Red Hood, the Simon DeMeo B cover. It is just, I don't know, Simon DeMeo just does some amazing artwork in my opinion, and I love this cover. Next up, Batman Killing Time number 5, the 1 in 25 cover featuring the Penguin. So stinking cool. Love that cover. Nightwing number 94, the B cover done by Jamal Campbell, featuring Nightwing and Batgirl in a very passionate pose, and I love that cover. Next up, Poison Ivy number 2, the C cover, which is done by Jenny Frison. Jenny Frison almost can never do wrong, and this is such a gorgeous Poison Ivy cover. Next up, Poison Ivy number 2, another Poison Ivy cover, but this is the B cover done by Claire Rowe, and this is my favorite of all the Poison Ivy covers. This cover is just so gorgeous. I love that it's not super sexualized, but it's still so gorgeous. Next up, Catwoman number 45, the B cover done by Jenny Frison. Again, you cannot go wrong with a Jenny Frison Catwoman cover. And the last but not least, my favorite cover coming out in the month of July is Catwoman number 45, the 1 in 25 Sozomaka cover. This cover, again, is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this cover. I think this book will probably do well on the secondary market, but we're not talking about Smack. We're just talking about my cover lover picks. And that was the last cover, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this new format of my solicitations video. Guys, let me know down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Would you prefer if I went back to my old style of solicitations video? Guys, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys are not subscribed, consider subscribing. Hit that bell for notification and smash that like button. Guys, I will see you tomorrow for my comic book speculation or recommendations video. But other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.